this session. I'll be getting started with today's live stream in just a few moments. Please come in and relax. For the next hour and a half or 2 hours, we'll spend some time together just opening and relaxing as we accept Reiki energy healing. Come on in, I'm just getting ready for today's Reiki session. So good to see you. Welcome. I hope you're doing well today. Let me know how everything is sounding on your end. We'll be getting started with today's session in just another couple of minutes. So good to see you. Say hello in the chat as you arrive. Marie, thank you for the roses. Good morning. So good to be back. Hello, Britta. Thanks for getting your heart knees as you arrive. Hello. Good morning. Welcome in. This is Reiki by request. We'll be starting in just a few minutes. Mercedes, hello. I hope you're doing well today. Char, hello. Good morning. Welcome in. We'll be getting started with today's session in just a few minutes. Corinne, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, that makes me feel so good. Hello, Chelsea. I'm doing really well. How are you doing? I'm pretty cold. Amiran, good morning. Here we have a blizzard outside, so we could lose electricity at any moment. But we have another 2 feet or so of snow piling on top of the 2 feet of snow we already have. So yeah, the snow is like creeping upwards to the height of my torso because I'm very short. It's a lot of snow. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty beautiful though. My kiddo has a school day today. A snow day. Home from school, and you might hear her in the background. Welcome in, everyone. We'll be getting started in just another 30 seconds or so. This year, I wished for a lot of snow this year. I was really missing the snow in New England. The past, I don't know, like 10 years or so, we've had very little snow. Thanks for getting your heart me. Hello, Sleuthy. And so this year I was like, please let there be a lot of snow. I miss it so much. And yep. Here it is. You can thank me. You can thank me for this snow. I'm just kidding. Interesting. I am short. I'm like 5'3", barely. creeping shorter and shorter as I get older. I once was 5'4". Maybe on a good day after yoga, I'm still 5'4". Thank you so much. Thank you for the bouquet. All right. Dusty, you can blame me if you like. All right. Thank you for the gifts. Let's get started, my friends, right away. Welcome in. This is Reiki by request. For the next hour or two, we will join together to relax as we open to receive Reiki energy healing. We'll take our time as I pair the flow of Reiki energy with slow hand movements and soft-spoken, tender and inspired language to help you settle your energy so that you can open and receive. To receive Reiki healing, all that you need to do is be willing to receive it and open to the healing. Since that can be quite a task, even though it sounds so simple, we use these ASMR elements to help us to settle, to trust and feel safe. Hello, welcome in. I am enjoying this blizzard. Thank you for getting your heart beats as you arrive. My name is Jen, and I am a certified Reiki Master Teacher. We'll be getting started in just a minute. I do want to make an announcement today. I'll make it a couple times through the live stream before we begin here. I just started a new subscription here in TikTok. It'll be launching this week for subscribers, for Reiki lovers who want to learn more about Reiki. I'll be launching subscriber-only videos called Reiki Academy. These videos will focus on teaching my unique knowledge and experience of Reiki healing. It'll include information about crystal healing, sound healing, smoke clearing, energy clearing, cosmic shamanism, and also Reiki ASMR. So if you're interested in just learning and you feel excited about Reiki healing and what it can do for you in your own life and how you can help others, please do consider subscribing. I just put out my new subscription tier today. It's $5.99 a month. Let me know if you have any questions at the end of this session. I can answer any of those as I'm just thinking about this new offering. I'm so excited. All right. I know, I'm so excited about it, Yelly. For today's session, I am about to put up the gifts that you can send if you'd like to make a request today. Also, please keep in mind that no matter what the request is, Reiki itself is pure. It doesn't adhere to my intention or your intention, really. It really just flows as it needs to flow for your highest good. No matter what imagery I use, no matter who makes a request, Reiki is for everyone who is open to receive it. All right, let's get started, my friends. I'm going to put up the request tiers for today. You should see them pop up on your screen in just a moment here. Okay. So for the affirmation, that will be a short, intuitive, short words that come to mind paired with Reiki. The Reiki request is for some hand movements paired with Reiki and a guided visualization. The crystal offering is the same as the Reiki, but with a crystal that suits your needs and your healing. And the energy cleanse is a full tier, full spectrum healing that really focuses on moving and eliminating some of that stagnant energy. All right. Perfect. Welcome in. We're just getting started. Let's begin now just by grounding as we arrive into this shared space. Oh, Dub, thanks for getting us started with an affirmation. Perfect. Dub, let me know in the chat if you have a particular theme or even a particular affirmation that you would like. Otherwise, I can do something intuitive for you today. Let me know in the chat. As we arrive together in this moment, we allow the energy to settle and clarify. The energy becomes clearer and crisper as we feel the sensations present through the energy bodies in this moment. Got you, Dub. My kiddo is home too. Not sick though. I hope your kiddo finds some healing today. Let me sit for a moment with our first request for an affirmation. All right. This affirmation is in line with, oh wow, golden stars. I've never seen that before, Corinne. It's so pretty. I loved it. Thank you for making a request for a crystal healing, Corinne. Please let me know in the chat if you have a particular crystal or a theme or a need in mind. Otherwise, I'm happy to do something intuitive for you. All right. Our affirmation for Dub. I rise to the occasion when someone that I love is in need. I am reliable and trustworthy, and I take good care of those who require care. I also remember to take good care of myself as I tend to others' needs. I remember that tending to my own needs remains an important part of this journey, and I make space listening and honoring what I need along the way. Moonling, so good to see you. Thank you for making a request for Reiki. So honored that you're here. Thank you for your request, Dub, for an affirmation. I hope that sat well with you. Let me see, Corinne. Something intuitive. You got it. Yay. Such beautiful gifts today. I love these golden ones. Hello, Moonling. Let me know in the chat if you have a particular theme or a particular need or request for the Reiki healing. Otherwise, I'm happy to do something intuitive as well. So good to see you. All right, coming up next is a request from our friend Corinne, who's looking for a crystal healing that is intuitive. Let me sit with that request and we'll get started. All right, so a crystal came in really strong, and it's actually Labradorite, and I saw my round specimen, my sphere of Labradorite. So let me go ahead and grab that, and we will explore that next. Oh, of course, Moonling. I got you for pain. I got it. You'll be next. All right. So the crystal that came to mind for me is one of my favorite crystals. This Labradorite is usually used for creative energy, and that's often how I use it. However, that's not how I wanted to use it for this healing. As you know, most crystals have many different functions. There's some central functions, some secondary, and often some tertiary qualities to crystals. The one that I'd like to use, the one that came to mind for this Labradorite, is not its central function, but its secondary qualities, which are very strong actually. Let's explore Labradorite's relationship with perseverance. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the golden stars. Saffron. For a crystal healing. Saffron, let me know in the chat if you have a particular request. Thank you so much. Using this Labradorite now as we explore the energy of perseverance. Continuing your journey with strength and focus, even when there are challenges and experiences that seem to want to stand in the way. Labradorite invites you to keep going. I'd like you now to imagine a long corridor, like a hallway. At first, the hallway seems dark and intimidating. It seems endless and maybe cold. Deep down this corridor now, you notice a flicker of iridescent azure and golden light flickering, and it begins to illuminate the walls as those iridescent tendrils of light begin to spread and creep along the corridor, bringing a warming and supportive energy to the space. That's it. Imagine that Labradorite light now as a guide, as it fills your eyes, as it warms your face. It encourages you to continue moving forward, even into unknown terrain. You're reminded of a guiding, supportive, and loving light. That encourages you to persevere, even when things seem challenging or unknown. Good. Allowing that light to gather like an iridescent pool, gathering in the eyes, behind the eyes, gathering in the mind space with its cooling and supportive energy. Good. Allowing that Labradorite energy to arrive and to settle. That's it. Thank you so much for such a lovely request, Corinne. I hope that resonated with you. Oh, I see. Awesome. Saffron, let me see your request here. Renewing connection with your partner. Let me write that down. Got you. All right. You're welcome. Coming up next, we have a request for Reiki from our good friend Moonling. And if you love ASMR, please do check out Moonling's account. So wonderful and so healing. Beautiful ASMR. All right, let me sit for a moment with Moonling's request and we'll get started. This request is for pain, for moonling. I'd like you now to bring your awareness to any points of pain in the physical energy body, to the mouth, the teeth, and any space where pain has radiated. As we make space, even for pain, as we allow that energy that can be so challenging just to be. For a moment, allowing the sensation just to exist without trying to change or fix that energy. Good. We engage the breath now as we take a big inhalation through the nose and an exhalation through the mouth. Imagining now that the breath itself is alive and caring. Breath infused with tiny particles of light. And as the breath weaves its way through the body, we direct it precisely toward where there's pain. And each inhalation becomes a celebration of light, filling the space with tiny, sparkling shards of gentle light and care. Allowing those pieces of light to attach precisely where it's needed, breath by breath now, watching that space transform into a constellation of glowing particles of light, allowing that light to fill the space. That's it. Guided by the breath, just gathering particles of light. Good. That's it. Thank you so much for your request, Moonling, for Reiki for pain in the mouth and teeth. I hope that imagery stays with you and that healing energy courts you and you find some relief today. Coming up next, we have a request for Saffron, who is looking for a crystal healing, looking for renewing connection with a partner. Give me just a moment to sit with that request. Hello, Jer. Hello, Teresa. Hello, King. Welcome in. Thanks for getting your heart bees. Give me just a moment to sit with that request and we'll get started. All right. Sometimes before a session, I take out a couple crystals that I feel might be engaged during the session. Oh, that's so funny that you say that, hippie. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Interesting. So I have a tumor on my thyroid that I just discovered on Wednesday. It's huge. You could probably see it. It's so funny that you mentioned that. No worries. I'm getting it looked at soon. Monday. Calling in today. Yeah. It's pretty apparent. Yeah. It's causing my voice to creak a little bit. No, of course, it's right there. Nothing to worry about, yeah. Was an interesting week last week. Yeah. Anyway, I take out some crystals at the beginning of a session usually if I think they might be warranted, and actually very strongly call to Rhodonite for this healing. So let's go ahead and explore this heart healing energy. Thank you. Rhodonite is an energy of the heart. It's really focused on breaking down, disintegrating the walls of the heart space. The walls of the heart that have been built. Josh, thank you. Thank you so much for your request. Let me just write you down. For Reiki. Let me know, Josh, in the chat if you have a particular request for today. Breaking down the walls of the heart that have been built for protection. And mending our connection to the heart space and the love space by beginning to soften those walls. Natasha, thank you for your gift and your request for an affirmation. Let me write you down. Perfect. Thank you. Health trauma. Okay. Let me write that down for you. Got it. I'd like you to imagine now a sleeve, or a scarf wrapped around the heart. A scarf or sleeve that's become thick and cozy with time, protecting the heart from pain, but also standing between your heart and another. And as we move deeply into the heart space now, I'd like you to imagine that scarf of the heart beginning to unfurl as if you reach with your fingertips for the end of a loose thread, pulling gently at the fabric as stitch by stitch, slowly and softly, that scarf begins to unwind, incrementally. We take our time as we begin to unravel at least a piece of that heart's scarf. No need to unravel the whole scarf or just a little bit. And as that piece of scarf begins to soften and diminish, allowing yourself to feel that open space, as you invite that open space to feel good and safe. Lindsay, Tina, Phyllis, hello. Thanks for getting your heartbeats. Good. Working from the heart space, allowing the heart to resonate outward through that new open space. Louise, Egg, thank you for getting your heartbeats. Lindsay, welcome. Good. There's no rush to begin to unravel some of that heart wall area as you take your time and move compassionately. Thank you so much for your request. I hope that was useful for you on your journey. Perfect. Good, Saffron. I'm glad it resonated. So glad to hear it. All right. Coming up next, we have a request for Reiki from Josh for some health trauma, followed by a request for affirmation for Natasha. And Natasha, let me know in the chat if you have any particular affirmation or any particular theme that you are interested in exploring. If not, I will do something intuitive for you. Perfect. All right. Let me sit for a minute with Josh's request and we'll get started. All right. Of course. Hello, V. Good to see you. Blessings to you, my friend. One of the most important things when we encounter a scary situation with our health, I think, firstly, is to find the space to allow whatever it is. Let's make some of that space now as we take our time, encouraging the energy bodies to move into a space of allowing whatever is there just to be. In our mind's eye, we can see that space beginning to bloom within. As we journey precisely to the space within that needs our care, or the spaces we ride the breath as the breath moves to fill that space, pouring into the area in need of care, encouraging room to open as we allow. If we're feeling fear, frustration, exhaustion, whatever it is, signaling to the body now that all sensation passes with time, and it's all right to make space for whatever is there. Good. deep within, we access a calmness and innate peace, a balm for the spaces in need. Good. And we allow ourselves to observe, just observing whatever sensations arise. Thank you so much for your request, Josh. Let me know in the chat how you're feeling, how you're doing. As we continue with our Reiki healing by request today, please say hello in the chat if you haven't already. Coming up next, we have a request from Natasha for an intuitive affirmation. You're welcome. Feeling relaxed, Josie. Good. Amy, hello. Alexis, hello. Kelly, so good to see you. All right, let me sit with our next request for an affirmation and we'll get started. Yeah, dear, I remember that feeling myself too. All right, so oftentimes when I tap into intuition, an image comes to mind. Sometimes it's words or a thought, but oftentimes it's image, and that's what came to mind for me. So let me explain the image that came to mind, and then we'll do the Reiki and affirmation. So the image that came to mind was a cat. A cat who has curled up onto the top of a soft sofa. And if you like cats, or if you've had a cat, you can imagine in your mind this cat's tail wrapping around its body just after it finishes kneading and warming its sweet little spot on the couch. And it lays down and rests its head on its paws. And it closes its eyes in peace and rest. That's the image that came to mind for this affirmation request, so let's explore that. I allow myself to snuggle down into a feeling of peace and contentment with this moment. I fill my surroundings with soft and supportive things. And I make space for resting and relaxing. I have to say, one of the words that popped into my mind with the image was lazy. And I think that that idea of laziness is really negative in our society, but I did not see it as a negative thing. So let's prioritize making space for lazing around for a few moments. Just allowing that cat-like peace and ease as we sink into the couch cushion. Without judgment, just allowing ourselves to enjoy moments of repose. Good. Thank you so much for your request, Natasha. I loved that one. I hope that resonates and supports you. Are you a cat person? Just wondering. All right. So those are all the requests that we have so far for this session. Please feel free to make your own request if you feel called to do so. Oh no, I love cats. And dogs and rabbits. Oh, and thank you so much for your request. Oh, we have a couple coming in. Thank you so much, Fatima. So good to see you. All right, we have Ange with an affirmation. And we've got our friend Fatima with a request for crystal healing. Perfect. Let me know in the chat if you have a particular request for your gift. Oh, you did, V? Oh my goodness. I must have missed it, V. Let me scroll back. I'm so sorry. Oh, I see you there. Hanging lights. All right, V, we'll do you next. Thanks for reminding me. Sometimes I miss it. V with an affirmation request. Let me know in the chat, everyone who made a request, what, if you have a particular theme or need in mind, or if you're open to something intuitive. Fatima, magnetism and self-assurance, yes. Got it. Ovi, anything around love, yes. And Ange, let me see if you wrote anything down. Oh, Josie, did you make a request? I didn't see it come through. Let me just scroll back here and see. Oh, I don't think you did. I might have missed it. But Josie, if you'd like to make a request, you can gift one of the gifts here. And if I have time at the end of this session, I sometimes have space for free requests as well. Good morning. All right, coming up next is a request for V for an affirmation about love. Let me sit with that for a moment and we'll get started. Thanks for being patient, V. Amirin, yay. Affirmation, let me put you down. I have to say, the image that came to my mind, V, is very strange. I'm not quite sure what to do with it. I sat with it for a while, hoping that more clarity would come to mind. Let me tell you what it was that came to my mind. Literally, it's a cereal bowl. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. But the sensation that I got was this idea of sweetness and sort of sitting in the cereal bowl. I know that sounds so weird, please. It almost sounds like a cartoon. But this idea of sitting within a sweet space and kind of marinating in it. And this idea of, I think, I think it's allowing yourself. That's exactly it. All right, I got it. Let's go. I had to talk that out for a minute. Let's run with it. I allow myself to sit in sweetness rather than always trying to run out, run away. I allow sweetness to permeate into my heart. Even when there's fear of sweet things, I make space for that sweet and tender energy. I remain open to receiving that sweetness. And as I look around me, I acknowledge that sweetness is abundant all around. All that I need to do is accept those sweet moments without fear. I hope that resonates. I don't know, V, maybe you really like cereal. I'm not quite sure. Josh, you love cereal. All right, so thank you so much for your request, V. I really enjoyed that, and I hope it resonates with you. It's taken me a lot of time in my life to be able to accept some of the intuitive ideas that come through, especially when they're not what I was expecting, like this cereal bowl. So maybe enjoy a bowl of cereal today. All right. Thank you so much, V, for your request. Coming up next, we have an affirmation for Ange. And Ange, let's see, something intuitive. You got it. Then we'll have crystal healing for Fatima and an affirmation for Amiran. If I missed your request, please let me know in the chat. I think I got it all. Hey, Julia. Good to see you. Thanks for making a request for an affirmation. Let me know in the chat, Julia, if you have something particular in mind or if you're open to something intuitive. Oh, perfect, V. Glad to hear it. You're welcome. Hello, Ray. Namaste. Good to see you. All right. Let's see. We have Ange next with an intuitive affirmation. Give me a moment. Julia, you also intuitive? All right. Give me a moment to sit with that and we'll get started. All right. The image that came to mind is sitting or lounging by a lake and just watching the very slow surface of the lake move by. So almost like letting something pass you by, like choosing not to engage with it, and just watching it float or flow away. a very peaceful way. So let's work on that. Play with that a little bit here. I know that I don't need to engage with every sensation that comes my way. In fact, I choose to let go of what does not serve me. I choose to peacefully sit and watch as that sensation rolls by. I remain calm. I remain steady. And I know that just because something is going on, I don't need to engage it. I can learn to let it be. Thank you so much for your request for an affirmation, and I hope that those words bring you some usefulness and comfort today. Perfect. Coming up next, we have a request for a crystal healing for Fatima, who's looking for some self-assurance and to strengthen magnetism. You're welcome. Give me just a moment to sit with that and we'll get started. I think I already know what I want to use. Let me grab it. Alright, I think this is a great one. This is my specimen. This is a mosaic crystal, which means that it is a combination of several different crystals. The primary crystals in this specimen are azurite, you can see it in the blue, and also malachite, which is a little surprising because we think of malachite as being a very green crystal, but the malachite is threaded through the crystal. So this is an azurite malachite mosaic. It's kind of a lot to say. This crystal is one that helps us to dissolve cold intellectualism. So when we feel as if we are separating ourselves from warmth through the process of trying to make sense in the mind space, bringing us distance from others or from experiences or from sensation. This azurite malachite mosaic also relates to the ego. And I wanted to deal with both of those things. So the cold intellectual distance, where we overthink and live in the mind too much, paired with the ego. And one thing that I love about this crystal specimen is that it almost looks like a map. You know, like roads, inlets, running through it. And the ego is kind of like a map. And I don't mean ego in a negative way. I think a lot of times we associate egoism with narcissism, and that's not what I mean with this. This is Azurite Malachite mosaic. Instead, I'd like to explore ego as a deep allowing, a deep exploration of the self, a heightened awareness of who you are, an acceptance, even a joy in exploring the facets of self as you continue to discover who you are. Just like this convoluted map, so is the self a journey of learning and navigating. Good. Malachite is a crystal that engages the heart space. Azurite is a crystal that invites you to the great wide open. In that mix of heart and possibility, we pull the energy away from the mind space and that cold intellectualism as we open to the adventure of landing within ourselves, exploring who we are and allowing our unique light to shine. As we shine forth that light, we allow it to become a compass. And you know that compasses are magnetized, pointing toward the north, allowing that knowledge of self to guide us and to attract to us the right things, the things that feel good and true and safe. You busy? Good. I'd like you to imagine that the weight of the mind is like a stone. In fact, you can see in your mind's eye how the particles of overthinking in the mind draw together to create a solid stone in the mind. And imagine that stone freeing from the mind space, dropping down into the body. And as it moves downward, it begins to dissolve into the tiniest particles, becoming nothing, like air, fully disintegrating as you let go of that weight of the mind. Allowing yourself now to find yourself, your ego, the center of how you understand yourself in this world. Good. Allowing that energy to infuse the energy bodies with confidence and assurance. That when you drop the weight of the stone of the mind, you can land in the map of the self, continuing that adventure of discovery. Good. Thank you so much for your request. I always appreciate your request, Fatima. Thank you. I hope that resonated with you and supports you. Coming up next, we have a request from Amiran for an affirmation, and then Julia with the same. Thank you for getting your heart knees. Hello, Raylan. So good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. All right, let me sit with our next request, and we will get started. All right, Amiran. As always with these intuitive things, I'll tell you what came to mind, and then we'll work with that. So what came to mind for me was an image, as it usually is, of a game of volleyball. So what I actually got from that image is this idea of serving something back when it's been served to you, and not being afraid to jump up and slam that ball over the net. Doing that instead of, cowering or diminishing yourself. It's this idea of rising up to the game and serving whatever it is that needs to be served. Belle, thank you for your gift for a request for an affirmation. Let me know in the chat, Belle, if you have a particular request in mind, like a theme or a need, or if you're open to something intuitive. All right, Amiran, let's explore this affirmation. I stand in my strength, not allowing anyone to crush me. When something is served to me that seems harsh or aggressive, I am unafraid to rise to the occasion as I stand in my strength and the assurance that I am worthy of kindness and loving care. I respect my boundaries, and I am unafraid to show others in an assertive but kind way that those boundaries are unmovable for me in this moment. I just see this big jump up in a volleyball net and just slamming it back. So if that imagery resonates with you, I hope it does. Thank you so much for your request. I love these. Britta, thank you for making a request for an affirmation. Belle, I see you're open to something intuitive. Perfect. Britta, let me know in the chat if you would like something intuitive, or if you have a particular affirmation or a need that you would like. Oh, perfect, Amir, and I'm glad that resonated. It's a strong image that came through. Something intuitive. Okay. All right. Coming up next, we have 3 affirmations in a row. First for Julia, then for Belle, then for Britta. Let me sit with Julia's request, and we'll get started. Ash, thank you for the bouquets. All right, Julia, I had an image come through, as usually happens for me when I tap into my intuition. Not always, but oftentimes. And this was an image of a big bowl of ramen. I don't know what it is with the food today. Earlier we had like a bowl of cereal for V, and now we're having a bowl of ramen. And maybe it's because I'm hungry. I'm not quite sure, but the sensation that I get is this like slurping of the noodles. You know those ramen noodles are like spirally, they're like tightly wound, but they're very soft. And when you eat them, you're like, and you're slurping them up, and you get this sensation of like pleasure and ease, and like you're feeding yourself something that feels good. That's the theme that came to mind. Nourishment, exactly. Yeah, but not just nourishment, like feeling pleasure, not like a crazy, pleasure, like a simple, basic pleasure that brings ease and peace just from taking a moment to nourish and feed the body. So let's go with that. I make space to enjoy simple moments in my day, even when the action seems simple. Within it is an opportunity for me to enjoy moments when I nourish and support myself. I make space for enjoyment. All I can see is this just pure joy just in the slurping, and I don't know how to express that. It's just like, let's get it in there. Let's really enjoy this glorious moment of nourishing ourselves, giving our body what it craves without judgment, just pure pleasure in small actions of being human. Do you, Julia? Interesting. Same for me too. Yeah. So I think that resonates too. Allowing the body to get what it needs, right? Nourishing and finding pleasure and joy in that action of just coming back to the body without judgment. Just slurping the noodles, metaphorically. Good. Thank you so much for your request. I hope that resonates with you. Jenica, I think I missed your request for an affirmation. Let me write you down there. Let me see if I missed anyone else. I don't think I did. All right, Jenica. Let me know if you have a particular request in mind, or affirmation, or theme, or need. Otherwise, I'm happy to do something intuitive for you. Coming up next is an intuitive affirmation request for Belle. Let me sit with that for a minute and we'll get started. It's always interesting and curious to see what comes up. All right, I'm not a horse person, but what came up is a saddle, like a big leather brown saddle, and just swinging your leg over the side. So let's go ahead and work with that. All right, Janica, we'll do something intuitive. Let's work with that imagery. Even after a time of stillness and disconnection, I know that at any moment I can lift my legs and fly back into the saddle, coming back to a state of taking action and running forward when I am ready for that forward momentum once again. I know that with just a simple choice, I can move from feeling stagnation into once again standing in my courage and moving forward. Good. And also I'll say, I am ready for that. Ange, thank you for making a request for Reiki. I got you written down, Ange. Let me know in the chat if you have something particular in mind. And Belle, I hope that horse saddle imagery resonated with you. I got a really strong sense that the time has come. I just see you jumping right into that saddle, and it feels good to be there. All right, perfect. Emma, you can make a request for today's offerings. You might see a horizontal menu there. There's affirmations, which are like short, intuitive words paired with Reiki. There's regular Reiki, crystal healing, and energy cleanse today. All right. Hello, Miss Nudo. Good to see you. Coming up next, we have an affirmation for Britta, an affirmation for Jenica, and then a Reiki healing for Ange. Green, good to see you. Thank you so much. Then we have a Reiki request for Green as well. All right, I think I'm going to have to shut down my requests in just a sec. I think I can probably take one more request. So I'm going to open it for one more request, and then I'm going to shut down the requests for the rest of this session. So go ahead and get in your request if you'd like to get in today for today's session. Emma with blooming ribbons. Oh, we got a couple. Okay, a lot coming in. Let me catch up there. All right, we've got Gina. Oh my goodness, I gotta go on to my next page. We have, did I get Emma? No. Okay. We've got Emma. Let me just make sure. We've got Emma with a request for Reiki. Just let me catch up here. We've got Gina with a crystal request. Got you. We've got Miss Fine with a request for Reiki. All right, I think that's everything. Perfect. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close the requests for today. Thank you so much for your support and your requests and your interest in Reiki. I'm going to go ahead and end those now. All right, so you should see that disappear there. All right, just a sec. Just give me a second here to catch up. Britta, you are next with an affirmation. Let me see. Give me just a second here. Oh, thank you. Thanks for getting your heart beats. I'm just going to set a new gift goal. Just need a couple seconds here. Let's see. Do that. Okay, I think I got it. Should show up in just a second. Salmon, how are you? Yeah, I always love a busy session. That's awesome. Thank you everyone for your support. All right, I guess it's not working. All right, coming up next we have an affirmation request from Britta. Give me just a moment to sit with that. Britta, did I just do yours? No, I didn't. That was Belle. Okay, give me just a sec and we'll get started. Oh, you did? Oh, Salmon, thank you so much. I don't know why that didn't come up. Yay. Oh, yeah, I don't know why that didn't show over here for me. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining the fan club. I really appreciate that as a super fan. Super fans get to join our monthly super fan only live streams on the first of every month, where all super fans get free Reiki requests. So if you'd like to become a super fan, please do join Salmon. Thank you so much, Salmon. Appreciate it. Yay. All right, coming up next, a request for affirmation for Britta. Give me just a moment to sit with that and we'll get started. All right, so I had an image come to mind, and it was of a vast desert. And the sand is super crisp and dry under your feet. And the sun is shining so bright in your eyes and in your face. You are so tired of walking through this desert. It seems like it's never ending and just going on. And it feels so hot and tiresome. And so I wanted to do an affirmation that's focused on an oasis, coming into an oasis where the temperature cools down. You can rest your feet. You can feel grounded and as if the grueling journey is coming to an end. Let's explore that. Even though I have spent a long time on this journey, I know when it's time to rest and find refuge. I honor myself and my needs, no matter how long this journey has been. I know when it's time to look for peace and relief. I don't need to walk through this desert landscape. I release what no longer serves me. And as I enter that oasis of peace, I allow myself to celebrate my journey and to rest. Thank you so much for your request, Britta. I hope that resonates with you. All right, coming up next, we have an affirmation for Jenica, an intuitive affirmation. Then, Ange, we have a Reiki healing for you. Let me know in the chat if you have something in mind for that. Followed by Green with a request for Reiki. Then we have Emma with Reiki, Gina with a crystal healing, and Miss Fine for Reiki. Whew. All right, let me hydrate. All right, let me sit with Jenica's request for an affirmation, and we'll get started. All right, sorry for the wait. I was actually sending a message on Alexa to my husband to check on the short ribs because I think they're done in the oven. I can smell them. Anyway, so the image that came to mind for me was like this black sludge. This like thick black sludge. And it's like so heavy. It's like dripping off of things. And if you look back across the black sludge, you see these footprints kind of walking in them, and they've left this indentation in the black sludge. Miriam, thank you. So I had to sit with that for a minute to see what the affirmation is in that. It's all about emancipating yourself from that walk of sludge that you've been doing. So let's explore that. Perfect. Even though my feet have felt heavy in the past, and even though I may have allowed myself to sink in the darkness, I know that I can step out of that space, walking on a clean and clear, fresh space whenever I'm ready. I can unstick my feet and step into a new space, leaving that heaviness that has dragged my feet for so long behind. And I allow myself to relish in the sensation of freedom. I deserve to be free. Thank you so much for your affirmation, Jenica. I hope that resonated. Coming up next, we have a Reiki request for Ange. And Ange, I don't know if you let me know if you had a specific request or not. Here we go. Intuitive for strength. Okay. Absolutely. Let me sit for a moment with that. I think I just had something come to mind, and then we'll get started. I actually had a crystal energy come to mind. But you did not ask for a crystal energy. So let me go back to the drawing board. Hang on. Okay. I had this image of like a bullet shooting straight out from the heart space. But I don't want to use the word bullet because that sounds violent. And that's not the impression that I'm getting here at all. What the impression that I'm getting is like force and drive and motivation and ambition that is just pushing out of the heart space to open space ahead. So is there a word I can use that's not a bullet? Does anything come to anyone's mind? Because I don't want to really use that imagery. Comet, I like that. A comet sounds good. Something with like forward force and momentum that's moving through space in a really assertive way. A beam, that's a good one too. Yeah. Let me know in the chat if anything else comes to mind that I can use. A projectile. Yep, that would be good. That avoids the use of the word bullet, which is, it's a triggering word, I think, and associated with a lot of things that I don't want to, that's not associated with this, like a ray of light. Yes, I like that. A beam, a comet. Let me see. Beam. An archery arrow, like an arrow. I like that. Yeah. Because an archery arrow is associated more with like an earthiness, a groundedness, almost like a hunter. Let's go with an arrow. I like the pointed orb too. Like a pointed orb, like an arrow. I like that. All right. Yes. Let's go with the arrow. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. I'd like you to imagine now that deep within the heart space, fueled by hopes and dreams, fueled by your deepest and strongest wishes and dreams and hopes. There is a strength nesting in the heart, waiting to be propelled forward and shared with the world. A beauty, a unique energy waiting in the heart to be shared and seen. imagine that energy soaring out of the heart space like an arrow, direct and assertive, flying through the air without fear, without confinement. What would it feel like to ride that arrow, sitting upon it as it flies free from the heart? Moving endlessly into the world. No destination, no stopping point, just flying. As you derive inner strength from that freedom. A strength that comes from the heart and from sharing what's in the heart. Finding strength in that flying arrow. You can actually feel that sensation of something just freeing itself right there, like a that's the sensation. That's the strength. That's the sense that I am getting. Thank you so much for your request for Reiki. Appreciate that, Ange. That was a great healing session for me too. Thank you so much, Ange. Perfect. That gift is fitting for that theme too. Coming up next, we have a request for green for Reiki. And green, let me know if you had a particular theme or a particular need or something specific in mind that you'd like, something intuitive. Okay, perfect. After that, we have Emma, Gina, and Miss Fine. Also, the three of you, do let me know in the chat as well if there's anything specific that you are hoping to receive. All right, let me sit with this request for green for Reiki and we'll get started. All right, I don't know if anyone else experienced this in their childhood, but the image that came to mind, I'm connecting to my own childhood, this idea of in the summertime when it's really hot and you're kind of poor and you're growing up, you don't really have a pool or anything to cool down, but you have a hose. And this is an incredible thing when you're a kid, right? In the heat of the summertime, you grab this hose and this cold, ice cold water is coming out of the spout. And you're drinking from the spout, that super cooling water, and the contrast of the hotness of the day and the heat of your body is settled when you drink that ice cold water from the hose in summertime. That's the sensation that I'd like to invoke for this healing. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. Imagine all of the worries, the anxiety and the dread, the uncertainty, the confusion, the frustration. Imagine allowing those sensations to come out of their hiding places in the energy bodies. As they rise to be seen and acknowledged, they metaphysically create a heat in the body, like a hot, sultry day of summer. Can you feel the sensation of heat as it rises in the body, ready to be cleared, ready to be cleansed and soothed? Imagining the body as a summer day, where you allow all of those sensations to arrive, not causing any pain or sensation, just allowing. Good. Imagining now drinking the cool, icy water, metaphorically as if from a hose. The water abundant and sparkling, cooling, fresh and clean. Imagine drinking in that cooling water. The very first swallow brings a sensation, refreshing. As that water moves through the energy bodies, it settles any of that hot and heated energy within. Watching as that water energy moves through, crisp and cool. Letting that energy settle, welcoming that energy to fill the heated body with ease. Thank you so much for your request, Green. Sarah, I am done with requests for today, but I usually do requests for affirmations. I do have 3 more requests to get to. Coming up next is a request from Emma for Reiki. And Emma, let me see. didn't write down if you wanted something intuitive or if you wanted something specific. Let me know in the chat, Emma, Gina, and Miss Fine, if either of you have anything specific that you were looking for. Emma with something intuitive. Gina, crystal healing for the stress. Got it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, first trimester trenches and potentially moving. When you say first trimester, do you mean pregnancy? Or I'm thinking also could be education. Okay, got it. All right, and looking for some anxiety relief, Miss Fine. You got it. Welcome to Reiki. All right, these are our last 3 requests of this session. Thanks to everyone who made requests today. All right, let me sit for a moment with Emma's request for an intuitive healing, and we'll get started. Okay, I got an image right away of like a hotel. And inside this hotel, people are moving through the hallways, coming out of their rooms, going about their day. And they're just kind of passing through, moving through lots of people in a hotel. And I get this impression that there's this feeling of like homelessness, or a feeling that there's no sort of place to come home to that feels safe and yours and private. So I want to explore that in this healing. Imagine coming home. Even if you've never felt at home before. Waiting for you is a home full of comfort and ease. A home where you can relax. You take off your hat and your coat when you arrive. Walking through the door feels exactly like stepping into a beam of midday light. There's warmth and ease. Imagine making that space your own, full of exactly what you need. Plenty of space for every experience, every sensation. a space that is your home. You can always come back to. Good. Imagine yourself walking through that door and moving into your favorite room. Watching yourself walking to that space. Breathing deeply the fresh and calming fragrance of your home. Letting it fill you, support you. Imagine nestling into that room with a sense of ease and belonging. Allowing yourself to arrive in this home space. Allowing it to bloom within you. A place that you can always return to whenever you need to. Thank you for the bouquets. Thank you so much for your request, Emma. I hope that resonated with you. Coming up next is a request for crystal Reiki from Gina, who's looking for some relief from stress, especially during a time of pregnancy. Crystal healing. All right, give me a moment here. I'm actually going to consult some notes that I have here because this is very specific. So give me just a moment. Actually, that's so funny. My note just like popped out, and I'm going to go with this. We're going to use Celestite. Let's explore that. I'm so glad that you are enjoying it. I know this is a beautiful crystal. This is my specimen of Celestite. And Celestite is an energy that is for the upper chakras, especially of the higher self or the angelic realm. It's very cloudy and ephemeral, uplifting energy that is incredibly calming. It really calms the soul. All of that chaos, all of that strife or uncertainty in the layer of the spiritual energy body. Celestite is like a balm for that. Let's explore this Celestite. Celestite is an energy of sleepy time and all of the things that we associate with sleep of the best kind. The deep relaxation and rest that you feel when you place your head upon a pillow that's slightly cool and lightly crisp. When you rest your head upon the pillow without any worries from your day, everything dissipates, flying away from the body, allowing you to relax. Celestite is an energy of perfect sleep and rest. As you relax every muscle in your body, each muscle, each bone feeling light, like air. The blankets of the bed so soft, like clouds. As you tuck yourself in, the body unwinds. The feeling of safety and protection encircles you. As you sleep, metaphorically, metaphysically, bringing that deep rest to the body, to the mind, to the heart and spirit. You move into a soft and calming dreamscape. So pleasant, so gentle, full of ease. Good. It's as if you're sleeping on clouds, held, just drifting, allowing your energy to settle. Drifting and settling even when awake. It's okay to come back to that sleepy energy, calming the body. Good. That's just right. Perfect. Thank you so much for your request. Gina, best of luck to you in your trimesters as they go on. For me, each trimester was so different. All right, we have one request left for our session today. It's for Miss Fine, who's looking for a Reiki healing for anxiety. You're welcome. Perfect. Let me sit with this request and we'll get started. All right, I got a visual for this one, so I'm going to do a little guided visualization for this final Reiki healing. Imagine the feeling in the muscles, the tension and the strain when you have spent a long time climbing uphill. As you allow that sensation to move to the forefront, to be cleared, you can feel the tightness in the toes and the legs, behind the knees. How hard you've been working to continue the momentum of moving upward instead of forward, just climbing and climbing and working and working. I'd like you to see yourself now, standing at the top of that steep hill, just standing at the topmost point. Behind you is all of the work, all of the climb. And before you is downhill. All the way down. The road begins to unfurl before you, soft and easy. A road that is full of soft blossoms, lined with trees and green and soft colors. A cooling wind, gentle breeze nudges you toward that downhill descent. Imagine the sensation as you take your first step after a long climb. The way that the breeze feels as it gently nudges you forward. Infusing the body with ease and safety. Hi, Tammy. Step by step now. You're safe to walk away from that grueling climb, relishing that first step as you allow yourself to be carried by the momentum. Your feet begin to pick up the pace, and you smile and laugh with the sensation of being free. As you fly down the other side of that hill, You even open your arms widely to feel the breeze beneath your wings as you let go of the troubles, of the strife. Just allowing your feet to pound the road ahead, free and clear. Moving forward into a new landscape. Good. Thank you so much for your request. That was so beautiful. I loved that imagery. Thank you so much. I wanted to thank everyone who stuck around for hanging out with me today. I love sharing this space with you for Reiki by request. I wanted to thank everyone who gifted requests today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all of your kind comments in the chat as well. Thank you for 23K likes. Appreciate it. Couple announcements for today. I do have a new subscription on TikTok. I'm going to be starting something called Reiki Academy. For those who are in love with Reiki, really curious and motivated to learn about Reiki and to explore and practice Reiki. Reiki Academy will be for subscribers only. And there'll be videos that I put out weekly in which I teach my unique knowledge of Reiki, including crystal healing and energy clearing and cosmic shamanism is something, and intuition, things like this, things that I use and draw from in my own healings. So if you are interested in that, please do consider becoming a subscriber. The subscription is $5.99 a month. You can find it on my page. I'm going to be posting my first videos for Reiki Academy later this week, and you can expect them every week. We'll just explore different topics, and really just gives me an outlet to share this passion for Reiki and for healing. So if you're interested in that, please do be on the lookout. Also, super fans, which is different from subscription, super fans receive a free energy healing on the first of every month during our Reiki Circle live stream. Our next one is coming up soon, March 1st. I'll be posting an event for that soon, and super fans can join that and get their free requests every month. It's more like a group or community style healing that the community can join in if they would like to. All right, I'm happy to stick around if anyone has any questions or anything that you wanted to chat about. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day. Oh my goodness. Fatima, oh my goodness. Oh, it's always so startling when that whale comes barreling through. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I loved it. I needed that. All right, everyone. I'll see you next time. I'll be streaming again tomorrow with ASMR, with Reiki ASMR. So there won't be any requests tomorrow. Jen, I am still working on my Reiki classes for certificates, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish it. I'm more than halfway done with Reiki level 1. During the summer, I'll be streaming less because my kiddo will be home all the time, and I'll be working more on my course. So I'm really hoping that this summer I will get that Reiki level 1 off the ground. It's almost complete, but still needs quite a bit of work, so do be on the lookout for that. Meanwhile, we'll have Reiki Academy, which will be informal discussions and teachings about Reiki and other things too. You're welcome, everyone. Take good care, and I hope to see you tomorrow for Reiki ASMR. Also, please do catch my regular ASMR account here on TikTok if you like ASMR. I stream there at night on Evening Springtime ASMR. All right, everyone, take good care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.